I stood frozen, my heart racing as the eerie sound of the alarm reverberated through the school hallways. A school lockdown wasn't something we had experienced before, and the tension in the air was palpable. The fluorescent lights buzzed above, casting an unsettling glow on the cold linoleum floors. My classmates exchanged worried glances, and the teacher's forced calm did little to quell our growing fear. We huddled in the corner of the classroom, the windows covered with heavy blinds that blocked out any trace of the outside world. Outside, the wind howled, adding to the unsettling atmosphere. The intercom crackled to life, and the principal's voice, tinged with anxiety, instructed us to remain quiet and stay out of sight. As minutes turned to hours, our anxiety intensified. The silence was deafening, and the occasional muffled whimper from a classmate only added to the feeling of impending doom. The teacher attempted to distract us with whispered stories, but each tale seemed to be punctuated by the unsettling creaks and groans of the old building. Suddenly, a loud bang echoed down the hallway, causing us all to jump in our places. The teacher's face turned ashen as she clutched the classroom door, ready to lock it at a moment's notice. The seconds dragged on like hours, and the tension was unbearable. Without warning, the lights flickered and went out, plunging us into darkness. Panic swept through the room as we clung to each other, our breathing ragged and uneven. In the pitch blackness, our imaginations ran wild, conjuring up all sorts of terrifying scenarios. Was it an intruder? A dangerous animal? The unknown was more horrifying than anything we could see. I pulled out my phone, its dim glow offering a small semblance of comfort. My trembling fingers navigated to the school's emergency alert system, hoping for some answers. But as I typed in the passcode, a message appeared that sent a shiver down my spine. No signal. Time seemed to lose all meaning, and I couldn't tell if minutes or hours had passed. The air grew colder, and the sense of isolation pressed down on us like a heavy weight. Just as despair threatened to consume us, a faint sound reached our ears. Footsteps, slow and deliberate, echoing down the hallway. The teacher held her breath, her grip on the door tightening. The footsteps drew closer, and I could hear a faint whisper accompanying them. Panic clenched my chest, and I struggled to control my breathing. The footsteps stopped just outside our classroom, and the whisper grew louder, forming unintelligible words that sent shivers down my spine. The door rattled, as if someone were testing it. The teacher's knuckles turned white as she gripped the handle, her eyes wide with terror. The whispered words grew louder, a chilling chant that seemed to seep through the walls themselves. "Let us in! Let us in!" A strangled scream escaped a classmate's lips, breaking the tension in the room. In that moment, the door shook violently, as if an unseen force was trying to force its way inside. The teacher and I braced ourselves, pushing against the door with all our strength. Then, as abruptly as it had begun, the shaking stopped. The footsteps and the whispering faded away, leaving only an eerie silence in their wake. We stood there, panting and bewildered, wondering if it had all been a hallucination. As the first rays of dawn broke through the windows, the intercom crackled to life once more. The principal's voice trembled as he informed us that the situation had been resolved and that we were safe to leave the classroom. As the blinds were pulled up, sunlight flooded the room, dispelling the darkness that had held us captive for so long. As we filed out of the classroom, we couldn't help but exchange nervous glances. The events of that night would forever haunt our memories, a chilling reminder that sometimes the scariest things are the ones we can't see, the unknown horrors that lurk in the shadows. And as I walked out of the school that day, I couldn't shake the feeling that we had narrowly escaped something far more sinister than we could ever comprehend.